Hi friends, I welcome you all at RBI GRADE B. We are covering government schemes for your upcoming exam, and we have already covered some scheme from this Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and this is lecture 2 of our series of this government schemes, and we are covering this Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So let's start with this National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, Navs. The main aim of this scheme is to promote the apprenticeship in the country by providing financial incentive, technology and advocacy support. This scheme was implemented in various forms. For example, if anyone wants to do apprenticeship in designated trade, then this will be taken care by the regional directorates of the skill development and entrepreneurship under the Director General of Training. And what is the meaning of this designated trade? Actually, these are the trades which is defined under this Apprenticeship Act 1961. So there are 2 or 3 types of trade. The first one is designated trades, the second one is optional trade. So under this designated trades, you will find advanced mechanic, advanced welder, attendant operator, attendant operator, dairy. So these will come under this designated trade, and it will taken care by this skill development entrepreneurship. And the second one is optional trade. Under this optional trade, you will find, if you want to do some apprenticeship in this, you can do in accountant executive, advanced machinery assistant, back office assistant. So it will come in optional trade, and this will be taken care by this National Skill Development Corporation and the CEO of the sector skill councils. What is the role played by this state government? State government will play a role of state apprenticeship advisors, and he will take care of both designated and optional trade. And if anyone wants to do ITI or apprenticeship from this private institute, then whatever defined under this Apprenticeship Act 1961, they will do apprenticeship according to this act and according to the clause which is defined for this private sector. So this is Navs. And now there are 2 components of under this scheme. In first component, sharing of 25% with of prescribed stipend subjected to maximum of rupees 1500 per month per apprenticeship with the employer. For example, if anyone is doing any apprenticeship under PSU, so according to this component, government will pay 25% of the stipend which is being given to this trainee, but with the maximum limit of rupees 1500 per month. And in case of if someone is getting training, then the sharing of basic training cost up to maximum 7,500. So you can understand, if someone is doing apprenticeship in any PSU or in any company, then share of 25% will be given for the stipend which he is getting with the maximum capping of 1500, and if he is getting training, then the maximum bearing cost by the government will be 7,500 per apprentice. Right. Now these are some key features. There are various key features for this scheme. The first is wider option for the apprenticeship integration with other scheme, ease of administering through technology, involvement of state duties, and the promoter and facilitator of third party agreement. I will explain you this one by one. Wider option for the apprenticeship integration with other scheme. For example, they are integrating this scheme with the other scheme of government and central like PMKVY, DDU, JKY. For example, if any work is done by any company under this scheme, and any person which is taking apprenticeship under this Navs scheme, he can work in this scheme and he can take benefit of this scheme in the terms of stipend, in the terms of training. Ease of administrating through technology. They have given a dedicated portal, that is www.apprenticeshipindia.organization. You can find each and everything on this portal. So they are implementing this scheme with the help of this portal, and this portal will facilitate the requirement of all the key stakeholders like candidate, companies and NGOs and other training companies and other government agency. So he will give a single platform to each and every person. They are also involving state and UTs. As per the Apprenticeship Act 1961, they will monitor the apprenticeship training in state, public sector undertaking, private sector, and any under the respective state government. And any state government will also sensitize the state and skill development mission. There are a role played by the district skill committee being promoted by the both central and state government will also mandate to identify apprenticeship opportunity in the district and assure opportunity utilization of the same. The promoter of the facilitator or third party aggregator. Very important point, because this scheme involves multiple stakeholders. So the role of the facilitator or third party is very must in this scheme. So this TPA, that is third party aggregator, becomes important for mobilizing the apprenticeship, mapping their preferences with the demand from the establishment of apprenticeship opportunities posted on the portal, and helping the establishment in identifying basic training providers. I will explain you this. For example, if anyone wants to get job or wants to train themselves in any public sector or in any company, so this TPA will facilitate this job seeker or training seeker by giving some guidance, by giving some suggestions. So this is the role played by this third party aggregator. Now our second scheme is, that is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 2.0, and its time period was 2016 to 2020. Before learning everything about this scheme, we should know that what is the history behind this. Actually this is 2.0, then what about this 1.0 scheme? So this Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, it was launched in 2015, and its main aim was to encourage and promote skill development in the country by providing free short duration skill training and incentivizing this by providing monetary rewards to youth for skill certification. For example, if anyone wants to become welder, if anyone wants to fitter, so this scheme will give a 6 to 8 week or 200 hours of training to the job seeker, and they will give certification to that person, so he can use this skill development and this certification for getting job in any company, in any organization. This is you should know the basic difference between the 2.0 and the pilot phase of scheme, that is 1.0. Actually this 1.0 was the pilot phase scheme, and in 2.0 government has launched this scheme in a full strength, in a full manner. So in pilot phase and 2.0 there is a basic difference. They have scaled up both sector and geography, and by greater alignment with other mission of Government of India like Make in India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat. In phase 1, government has limited the geography of this scheme, but in second scheme they have increased the geography. It means they have covered vast area, they have covered more district, they have covered more state, and they have also aligned this scheme with the flagship scheme or the main target of the government, like Make in India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat. It means we can say that they are developing the skill of the person, that the skill development will boost this Make in India, this Digital India or Swachh Bharat of the government. I have already told you the timeline of this scheme. This is 2016 to 20, and the government has given outlay for this scheme is 12,000 crore. Now, what are the objectives? The main objective of this scheme is to enable you to take industrial training and making them employable. It will increase productivity and align the workforce with the need of the country. Very important. And their target is to 10 million youth over the period of 4 years, that is 2016 to 2020. And they will also standardize the certification process and creating a registry of skill. In last point, you can say that if any certification is given to a person, then they will standardize this process, and it will also create a registry of the skilled manpower. Whatever skill a person has got from this scheme, they will register it and make the registry of this all the skilled manpower with themselves. These are some key features of this scheme. This is a short-term training, this is a recognition, prior learning and special project. So try to understand these concepts. This short-term training program is designed for the school, college dropout or unemployed. Major courses are ranged between 200 to 600 hours or 2 to 6 months. And the National Skill Qualification Framework with soft skill, entrepreneurship, financial and digital literacy. Actually, whatever framework was designed by this National Skill Qualification Framework with soft skill, entrepreneurship, financial and digital literacy will play an important role in this short-term training program. In this, they are also doing assessment and certification, and they are also helping the person for the placement assistant by the training partners. So they are covering everything in the short term. Now, what about the recognition of prior learning? We know that some people are already working in any organization, they have some skills. So in this scheme, they are also considering the prior learning experience or skill which already person have with themselves, and they will assess it and they will certify it. And the duration of training and orientation range between 12 to 20 hours. Actually, this school college dropouts are required more training hours, so they are giving 2 to 6 months. But with the person which have already some skills, so they have reduced the training hours and they are giving 12 to 18 hours. Now, the RPL aim to align the competency of the unregulated workforce for the country to NSQF. Now, there are some special projects. For example, if any person wants to become welder but in a particular field, for example, he is doing a welding course but with a specialization. For example, if any person has the certification for welding of a boiler. Boiler is a equipment which works on a high pressure, and if you are doing a welding for a high pressure equipment, you require more skill. So for these types of skill development, they are running a special project. So short term is for school dropouts, for a lower person which required more time for skill development. Recognition prior learning, they required short time because they have already skilled. But special projects are the component which envisage to encourage training in special areas and premises of the government bodies, corporate industry, and training in special job roles not defined under the available qualification pack or national occupation standard, which I have told you, just like boiler. It has also two components like our previous scheme. The one is centrally sponsored and centrally managed, and the second is centrally sponsored and state managed. In this component, National Skill Development Corporation will play a major role, and the 75% of this scheme for 2016-20 funds and corresponding physical target have been allocated under this CSCM. It means 75% is fund is given by the central, and under this centrally sponsored but state managed, the state skill development mission will bear 25% of this PMKVY funds, and corresponding physical target have been allocated under this CSSM. Now, this scheme is related to PMKVY 3.0. We have learned about 2.0, now this is 3.0. If you are unable to understand the difference between this 2.0 and 3.0, then you can learn this scheme very easily. So this is the major difference between 2.0 and 3.0. Under 3.0, they are giving more training and learn centric addressing the ambition of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, because government has first launched Make India, then Digital India Mission, then in last they have launched Atmanirbhar Bharat. So they are trying to move this scheme, they are trying to design this scheme according to need of the Atmanirbhar Bharat. In our previous scheme, they were not decentralized and they were centralized. For example, they were centrally sponsored, the center is taking more values, or the central is taking care of this scheme in a very comprehensive manner. But in this 3.0, they are doing decentralized structure, they are giving greater responsibilities to the state and UTs. At district level, UTs and district, and at district level, district skill committees under the guidance of the state skill development mission is playing a major role, and in the new age job role that have been become crucial with the advent of COVID-19, right? And the timeline for this scheme is 2000. This is not 2016, this is 2020 to 2021, and they are giving, this is not the right, this is 2020 to 2021, and this is 948.90 crores they have allocated for this scheme. Now, what is the target of this scheme? They are targeting youth under the age group of 15 to 45 years. The main focus of this scheme is they have shifted their focus from supply-based approach to the demand-based approach. In previous scheme, they are giving some outlay and they are spending this outlay for the skill development. Now they are changed this scheme. They are not focusing on supply side, they are focusing on the demand-based approach. For example, first the scheme was for Make in India, the second for digital, and the third for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now the government, the need of the hour or need of the industry is artificial intelligence, machine learning. These all are the need of the hour. So they are changing this scheme according to the demand-based approach. Now it will also give major focus on upskilling, reskilling with a focus on future skill, that is Industry 4.0 courses to increase the productivity of the existing forces. So they are focusing on industry, and they are also providing online digital mode of training for wider coverage. So this online approach and digital mode of training is covering more and more students, and they are developing more and more students' skill with the help of this online digital mode of training. Now it also has a two component. The first is central component, and it is implemented by the National Skill Development and Director General of the Training and other agencies for the Central Ministry. And the second component is state component, and it is implemented by the State Skill Development Mission, respective department of the state and UTs. Now they have the same features which I have told you: short-term training, recognition, prior learning, and special project. Short-term training is for school, college dropouts. It has a short time, that is 2 to 6 months, and it will work under the National School Qualification Framework. Recognition, prior learning, which already have some experience, so their training time they have reduced, but they are recognizing their prior learning experience, and they are also assessing its skill and certifying it. Under the special project, which I have told you earlier, some special projects are also assigned in this scheme, which are not defined under the qualification packs and national occupation standard. Now, this is a Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra. Actually, this is part of this Skill India mission, and it was established under this Skill India mission. They are establishing this Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra, and these Kaushal Kendra are state-of-the-art, visible, aspirational, model training center in every district of the India. So this Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra are equipped with industry-driven courses for high quality with focus on employability and create an aspirational value for skill development training. What are the features? PMKK envisioned to transform the short-term training ecosystem from a mandate-driven delivery model to sustainable institution model. Now, under this PMKK, actually this is not the PMKY, this is the Pradhan Mantri PMKK, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra, right? This is not PMKY 3.0. So what government is giving support? Actually, government is giving investment support in for the establishment of Prime Minister Kaushal Kendra, and this NSDC is providing funding support in the forms of a secured loan up to maximum of rupees 70 lakhs per PMKK. The important point you should note from here is that this financial assistance, which is giving in the form of the loan with the maximum capping of 70 lakhs, this is giving towards the capex support. It is not giving for the utilize. This cannot be utilized for creation of immovable property like land or other building. So this fund can be used only for the training infrastructure, including purchase of machinery and equipment, training ad and other associated items, and internal renovation of the center. Now, friends, these were the scheme which I have told you, and these are our star performer which have been selected in previous exam, and we are giving paper 2 SEBIGRADEA course at ₹2499. And we are also providing RBI Grade B and SEBIGRADEA combo course at ₹3499. You can purchase this course by visiting our website and registering yourself at www.RBIGRADEB.com, and you can subscribe the course. In RBI Grade B 2022 course, we are charging for this 2499, and we are covering all these things in our course. So friends, thank you and happy learning. पढ़ते रहिए, मेहनत करते रहिए.